we move forward with our lives with a fair bit of, well, disdain's not the right word, a fair bit of expectation. The expectation is, in Australia at least, when there's protections for full-time employees, there's the expectation that your job will be there in the morning, there's the expectation that your house will be there in the morning, the expectation that your partner will be there in the morning. Everyone knows that eventually a lot of these things are going to end. Like your pet, unless you have a parrot or a turtle, it's very unlikely that your pet is going to live as long as you do. So there's always that one bit of your head that everything's going to come crashing down at some point. And there's the Buddhist philosophy that everything's destroyed anyway. So there's no point putting energy into a particular object, because in the grand scheme of things, that object's probably going to be destroyed anyway, or something like that. And that's sort of the way I've been trying to live. It's not that, you have to maintain a vehicle, because in order for a mechanical device to continue functioning, including you as a human being, in order for it to continue to function in a useful manner, you have to maintain it. So if you're in the head, you go to therapy. If you're tired, you sleep. If you're hungry, you eat. If you're thirsty, you drink. If you're horny, you take care of that however you take care of it. And with a motor vehicle, people just drive them. As long as it's got oil and water, they think that it's okay, but all mechanical things are subject to wear. So if you don't put new oil in it to keep it lubricated, and you don't keep coolant into it, you get corrosion. If you don't put a battery in it, occasionally it won't start. If you don't put wiper blades on it, you can't see. If you don't put headlight globes in it, same thing. So the body's the same, and then you can't say that because everything's already going to be destroyed that you don't need to keep it functioning for the time. To assume that you can keep it going forever. Humans will not, an individual human will not last forever. What I'm trying to say is, I have a really good wife. I have way too many arguments with her because I'm an asshole, not because there's anything wrong with her, but because I've spent so much of my life only worried about what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what I want. It's not that I'm not interested in what she thinks and what she wants. It's that I'm just used to me knowing how things are going to progress for me. And now there's another person involved. It causes me some issues. All humans think differently. All humans have different ideas about the way things should work. On all the really important stuff, child rearing and work and things like that, we're on the same page. When it comes to taste in entertainment, we're not quite on the same page, but she can go to the theatre with her friends, and I can find one of my other mates and go and watch a good sci-fi or superhero action flick. And I still find things in my life as far as entertainment goes that I haven't shared with her. But I've seen them, and it's not that I'm going to rush out and go and watch all the same films I've seen before, but the things that I really, really like in life, like we're going to Hawaii later in the year. Now, part of that is she really likes Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii, so she can share something she loves with me, which will be a new experience for her because we're only newly married. And then I can share, well, there's not really anything that I like except her, and I'm not sharing her with her. I like making videos. I don't like making videos of myself, but I do enjoy imparting information, even if it's information that nobody wants. It helps me to organize everything in my brain. So on the weekends when I don't make videos, when I don't do anything, even when I sit down and write, because I can't write as quick as I can speak, even if I'm writing, even if I'm doing two separate things, because I can write a few lines there and then a few lines there. Multitasking is another thing that we could have a discussion about, because the human brain's literally not capable of multitasking. But because I pick up a bit of information here and a bit of information there.
Okay. How the hell did you get all this together?
Just happened, mate. Piece from here, piece from there.
Sometimes my undisciplined brain likes to disseminate information a bit here and a bit there. So if I'm writing, like I'm writing the fat and ordinary one and the motivation one, I've had them both open today, and I was writing a bit on one and then a bit on the other. Now, they do overlap a bit, but I don't know where I'm going with the family one. I really don't. We have an appointment tomorrow at an old people's home. We're going to sit down and play some Scrabble with the old ladies. We did it with our friend Gwen, who was our dance teacher. She's 98 years old and she can count better than me. So she's adding all these numbers together and I'm going, let me just bust out my calculator because I need it, and she's not. Before I could even pull the calculator out, really quite amazing. I hope I'm even a quarter as lucid at that age. I hope I'm alive at that age, but I hope I'm a quarter as lucid. I don't necessarily have aspirations to live forever, but because I'm 43 years old and only just gotten married, my brother and his partner have been together for 20 odd years. And they're about the same age as me. Actually, his wife was my friend in school. They've already had 20 years together. And I've missed out on those 20 years. Now, I'm not resentful about it. It is the way that it is. The events of my life have led me to the point that I can be where I am and do what I'm doing with the person that I'm doing it with. And I'm grateful for that. It's just there's 20 years that I could have had with this woman. But see, 20 years ago, we might not have liked one another. I want to live a long time purely for the fact that I get to spend more time with her. Anyway, motivation in anything. So the weekend comes along and I said, look, I'm going to try not to work on the weekends. Now, the ultimate plan is to not work on the weekends. But at the moment, we're in between everything. Like someone just rang me and I'm selling my big screen TV and surround sound because I don't really use it. I don't want to pack it. It's extraneous to needs and doesn't meet my requirements at the moment. We could use the money more than we can use the TV sitting in a corner doing nothing that I'm then going to have to move. I don't really have all this down. You know, I'm staying at home and I'm packing, and in between packing I'll make a video. We're not going to that many places, and if we do, it's purely to make a video or to go for a stroll or to go for a bike ride or to have a cup of coffee. There's not a lot of exciting things happening. When I get to Brisbane, I've already got, when we move, so it's a month, literally fully a month away. Once we get back down there and get a little bit settled, so maybe 6-8 weeks, then I'll get into the plan that I have envisioned.